I'm going to ask advisors, what has your role as an advisor been?
I guess you can probably see my name, but my name is Tyrell Smith, and I have been a automotive industry management faculty member, and I support the Automotive Booster Club. Is that all you need? All right.
Hello, can you guys hear me okay in the back? All right, my name is Angelina Perez. I just recently graduated from CSU Pueblo, and I feel like that's relevant because I feel like that's what ties into being an advisor as far as my perspective goes. I am the advisor for Bold and Beautiful Educated Sisters, Babes, you might know of their name. So, gosh, I feel like there's a lot to being an advisor, in my opinion, in terms of just making yourself available to people and genuinely trying to get to know your individual members. Just this week alone, and I get all sad when I think about it, but it's just crazy because students are struggling in a lot of different types of ways. People are, they're having their homework issues, they're having the issues with balancing time, issues with, personal relationships, and it's just hard to manage those types of things. So I feel like as an advisor, it's not just signing paperwork, it's definitely an opportunity to try to help people feel connected to this campus. We're located up here on the hill, so we're a little isolated, and sometimes some people don't have a way to get out, like they don't have their own car, or they don't have a way to, they might not know a lot of people yet. So I feel as an advisor, it's just good to try to help people know what the community of Pueblo has to offer. I try to do that. I try to take people from my club to different restaurants or to different landmarks. My favorite place is Liberty Point. So just things that people can see to feel a connection to Pueblo. And then more than anything in that process, people are getting to know you. So I think that is what makes it real. That's what makes the club solid, is you actually feel like somebody cares about you. So from an advisor perspective, it's difficult because I can only do what I can do with, I have a crazy life too, and I have time management issues too. So as students, I would highly recommend that you tell us what you need. So whoever your advisor is, they can't really know your name, and they can't really know your life or your situation, or more importantly, your needs, if you don't tell them. So please make sure that you take the time to reach out to them. If you're joining a club, you're there for a reason. You want to get to know people. If you're joining a club, you're obviously trying to develop more skills and get more connected. So just make sure that you are letting your advisor know who you are, what your goals are. Take some initiative to say, I would like to see an event on campus, and this is what I would like to do. Can you help me know who the right people are to get this thing going? Everybody's going to have a lot of different types of goals. So, everybody has their own set of vision for what they feel the college experience can be. And as I said, just coming off of my graduation, or just coming off of my student experience, I feel kind of fresh to still know what it's like to want to party and have some fun and manage that with being responsible as well. So make yourself known to your advisor, not just by name, not just by, and I'm not talking about, brown nosing, I'm not saying it in that way. I'm saying be real. You're obviously there for a reason. Let them know who you are so they can help you do what you need to do. Okay, we'll just do it here. So students, what are the best ways your advisor has helped you?
All right, hello, my name is Lexi. I'm the current president of PRISM, our campus's Queer Straight Alliance. We actually have two co-advisors. We have Jessica Boynton, she is the Director of Judicial Affairs, and then we also have John Gilling, he is a professor in the Spanish department. Not only are they very active here on campus, and they act as kind of like those liaisons to us here on campus to the different departments, but they're very active within the community. And those are some of the events that we love to do, are events where we actually partner with different community organizations. For example, the Southern Colorado Equality Alliance, that's one of the biggest organizations that we love to partner with. Both of our advisors are actually great friends with tons of the executive members of that organization. So they are able to put us in direct contact with those people, and that's definitely one of the things that I love having them be able to do. Another thing is that they're visible to all of us. They work very closely with our executive board. They come to every single exec meeting. They also come to weekly member meetings once a month, which is awesome that they're able to meet all of the members as well, not just the executive members, which is awesome. And then they both just like kind of have this open door policy in their offices. Like, I go and bug Jessica every other day, and I just talk to her about the most random stuff, and knowing that she's there to where I can kind of just, you know, communicate with her so easily, that's definitely a huge thing that really helps out, and I love that about our advisors.
All right, hello, my name is Oakley Parsons. I'm the president of ACM, the Association of Computing Machinery. We're the ones that fix your computers on campus here. Our advisor is Professor Martinez, and he's been very, very helpful in a lot of our events. I'd imagine you guys know about the raffle that we had on campus with the nice glowing machine, and that was his idea. They provide a lot of assistance with ideas. He's very participating in our meetings and helping come up with new ideas, new ways to do things for fundraisers, all kinds of stuff. He helps with all the students. If you have a problem, you can always go talk to him.
Hello, my name is Noelle Sansucci. I'm the current Vice President of Phi Alpha Theta, which is the History Honors Club, a member of PRISM, and the previous Vice President of the Young Dems. I've had different experiences with advisors, good and bad. One of my clubs, we had an absentee advisor who was never around. I don't think I saw our advisor once. That was a negative experience. My other experiences with PRISM or Phi Alpha Theta has been a positive one. Advisors that get back quickly with emails, open door policies. I just recently was trying to submit a paper to a history conference at the University of Wyoming, and my advisors for Phi Alpha Theta went out of their way to run around, get information for me, help register my paper, look over my abstract, and this was all in a matter of hours, so they really went out of their way to do that just to make sure I was successful with my submission. Also with PRISM, side note, our director, Jessica, when we were participating in a parade downtown, she went out of her way to go and rent a car for us so we weren't walking in the parade. So just little things like that, I think, really make a successful advisor, going above and beyond just showing up at a meeting or just signing their name to a paper saying, hey, yeah, I'm their advisor, they can have a club, and then you never hear from them again. So I think those are all really positive qualities for an advisor to have.
All right, advisors, what's the best way for your organization officers or members to contact you for advice?
I apologize. Apparently, I was supposed to say a little more than I am an advisor on that last one. But, oh, no. So, it's interesting because I am a bit younger, I guess, than some of the other faculty advisors that are out there. I don't know how old your advisors are, but the great thing is, I think it's important for the advisor to be updated with technology. So I do have a cell phone, and I do have a cell phone, and I do text. So I found that it's very useful not only to club members but students to. I give them my cell phone number, and they can text me or contact me anytime they want. Very respectful, and they know if they text me at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday night that I might not get back with them. But for me, They can text, they can email, they can just stop by the office. We're there most of the time, and yeah, that's it. What else was on the question there? Anything else? Just contact.
Advice, yeah, how to contact you for advice, yeah.
So, for me, it's very straightforward. I think the main thing though is, like they were saying, if you do need help, like Angelina was saying that, if you do need help, that you do contact us, that you come to our door, call us on the phone, or send us an email, or whatever it might be, because we are, most of us, and I would probably say almost all of us, are willing to give that advice, and we're advisors for a reason. It's because we want to help you, we want to be of assistance, and so take advantage of that for sure.
As you talked about it for a minute. How y'all doing in the back? Can you hear me okay? The microphone died again, so we're gonna work on that. But the best way to contact your advisor, I would say, obviously every advisor is different. Some of the advisors are, they have families, they have a lot of credentials, they have a lot of other obligations in terms of committees. So get to know who your advisor is too, in terms of be real about who they are as a person. Just because you're a student doesn't mean that they're supposed to be on your level. Like, you want to know that you need to know who they are too. So it's a life skill to be able to read people and know what's going to be effective for them. For me personally, I would say that, I try to stay up with the technology. I try to be able to get back with emails or obviously texting. That seems to be the most important way that I can stay connected with everybody. A lot of people just like to send a quick text about something. So, and then you have to be willing, in my case at least, I'm willing to go a lot of different hours. I've gotten a lot of phone calls really late or really early, a lot of last minute requests, but I'm okay with that. In my particular life situation, it's okay. I can make that work. But I would just say for you as students, know who your professor or your advisor is. A lot of them are professors, and as I said, they do have a lot of obligations. They do take their time very serious. So just be aware of who the person is, not based on your own expectations of what you think they should be, but be realistic about who they really are. And I think that will show them that you do respect them, you do respect their time, and you have that opportunity to get to know them on their level. And so I think when you meet them on that level, you would say, what is the best form of communication for you? My best form is texting. Does that even work for you? Some people legitimately they cannot understand how to work that situation. So it's just depending on who the person is, and you have to be real about that. So some people like email. For me, email and texting is probably the best way because I'm always away from my desk for different reasons. So just be real about who they are, be vocal, and talk to them about what the best way would be for them to be reached.
All right, guys, sorry, we're working on the mic again. So some of you have already answered this, students, but if you want to kind of hit on it again, what is one thing you get out of working with your advisor? Do you want to start? You kind of said it already.
Yeah. There are many benefits to working with your advisor.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get a lot of. I think advisors are great, pointing you in the right direction. Like I had mentioned when I was trying to enter this conference, I had no idea where to begin. Lack of experience in that area, so just being able to gain from someone who has that experience is always beneficial. These are probably things you guys already know, so it's like, let me tell you things you know. I don't know.
Test. How's that sound?
Brittany, just in time for you to start talking.
Wow.
Well then. Well, I think one of the biggest things with the advisors is they know the ins and outs of the school. They know who to talk to, how to talk to them to get things done. Getting somebody to contact to sign a letter for us to get some kind of donation from somebody. He always seems to find a way to know who the right person is to talk to get the job done. And that's very, very, it facilitates everything that we do. If you didn't have that kind of contact, a lot of the events and stuff that we put on never would have happened.
Yeah, I guess just everything else that they've all been saying. I guess another thing is I kind of like how the advisors help you strengthen your leadership skills. You know, if you're having a problem in your organization and you don't know how to handle that, you can go to the advisor and they can definitely help you out and kind of give you some pointers on how to handle that situation. And one thing I always like is that the advisor kind of never overshadows you. You know, they're kind of in the back. And I really do appreciate that, you know, especially if you are like the president of an organization. You want to be able to run that organization without the advisor in your ear telling you to do this, do that. You know, they kind of just give you that advice that you need, and that's definitely a really great quality that I really appreciate.
All right, advisors. Last question. What do you want students to know about working with faculty and staff?
All right, so working with faculty and staff, I feel like I kind of gave my best perspective on that in terms of just be realistic about who the person is so that you can address them at the level that they want you to. Some people like formality, so just be mindful of that. It's hard for us when we're, I don't know, I guess as we're trying to learn our own self and how we want to communicate just in general, it's hard for us sometimes to know how to be vocal to some new person. So sometimes people can seem very intimidating. They might just be more quiet in general, more reserved. But you know, just I still say find an authentic way to be yourself and yet still respectful in the sense that you're trying to get to know them based on who they are. So faculty and staff, you know, I mean, just be mindful of their schedules. In terms, some people are very strict to sticking to their office hours. Some people are completely open to letting you come in anytime and into their office, or so just kind of be mindful of that or aware of that. And then I guess just ask the right questions. Ask at least your advisor, as Oakley was saying, who the right people are to get these certain things done. So have an idea of who you want to be, what you're trying to accomplish, and be vocal to your advisor to let them know what those goals are, and asking them, who do I need to contact, so you can go forward with that. So just let them use their knowledge to your benefit to help you get connected.
I think Angelina hit on a few important pieces, and she's absolutely right when she says know your advisor. Know who he or she is, and how they, I guess, how to contact and how to communicate with them as well. And she talked about obligations and responsibilities that your advisors may have other than the club. I don't know if many of you know this, but for service, we're all faculty members are kind of ranked. If it's a faculty advisor, they're ranked by. They have about 75% teaching, maybe 15% scholarly activity depending on the organization, and about 10% service. So 10% of their evaluation is based off of service. And so when we participate in club advising and things like that, of that nature, that qualifies for service. But that is only 10% of their evaluation. So when you do have advisors that sacrifice so much time and energy to your clubs, I hope that you're very grateful for that, because it is a big sacrifice. They're putting off their scholarly research, they're putting off their teaching stuff and developing coursework and things like that they are really getting evaluated for, spend time with you guys and to help develop your leadership skills. And so thank them the next time you see them. Tell them thank you for that. Personally, working with the students is one of the best things about my job. and I think that many of the faculty members feel that way as well. You guys really inspire us. It's fun. It's fun to develop relationships with you. It's fun to do things with you. You keep us lively and active and all that other stuff. I think about my family. I have a family. I have 3 kids now. You can believe it or not. It's crazy. But my students, though they're not much younger than I am, they still refer to me as old man. And but you guys really do keep us young, and we appreciate that. So I guess to emphasize the 2 things: one, thank your advisor because they do sacrifice a lot, and then 2, I just wanted to know that we actually enjoy working with you as well. So keep that in mind when you come in to see them. You put on a smile on your face to know that we like it when you come and see us, and when you come to talk to us and you come to bug us every other day, right? Or whatever it might be. So I guess that would be my words of advice.
All right, we have one more question for the students, and then I'll open it up to you guys. Students, what is one positive tip you would share about working with faculty, staff, and advisors?
Positive tip, was it? Positive tip is know your Constitution. And you're probably wondering why. Why should I know my Constitution? It's just that paper that we signed on to. Here is a quick story. We had an advisor that was doing most of the work in our club, and there was an executive officer that wasn't really pulling much weight, and the advisor behind the back of the rest of the students in the club went to Student Life for student leadership to try and dismiss this executive member without anyone knowing, and the advisor went and said, they're not doing the work, we want to cut them. But luckily, thanks to the great people who work down in student leadership and engagement, they said, hold on, let me look at the Constitution. And in the Constitution, they had rules about you can't just dismiss a member. So I think that's a positive tip, is to know what's actually in your Constitution. I know we have a tendency to maybe grab a Constitution offline, maybe change some words in it and call it good, but it's always a good thing to actually know what those Constitutions say, to know how your organization is being run and what maybe rights you have within that organization, case in point. Also, positive tip, make sure that you're pulling your weight as a club member. A lot of advisors do get a lot of work put on them, and we expect them to do that work, but it's a student-run organization. It's our responsibility to lead the meetings, make the agendas, do those things. It's not the advisor's job. They're there just to encourage us and give us that leadership experience. So those would be my tips of advice.
Well, from my experience, I've noticed that a lot of students seem to forget that staff and faculty, they're people too. We have this mentality where, you know, you're coming from whatever walk of life that you've come from, straight out of high school, or if you've actually spent some time in the workforce, what have you, and they have a different mentality here. I highly suggest that you get to know as many of the faculty and staff here as you possibly can, because they have a lot to offer beyond just teaching a class or being an advisor and helping you pick your classes. They're people too. So treat them as such. Go talk to them. Take 5 minutes out of your super busy day and go talk to a professor that you may not be having a great time with in class, and ask them some questions. You'd be surprised how receptive they would be. Most people I hear complaints about that all the time. Well, I don't like this, or I don't like that, or I'm having trouble with the homework, but they never go talk to the professor. Find out about them. Maybe they're having a tough time, and maybe you can help them out. I mean, it's got to be a give and take.
I guess my tip would be hold your advisor accountable. You know, they are a part of that organization as well. Let them know as soon as they come on as an advisor exactly what you expect of them. You know, that way there aren't any blurred lines between that. Don't feel like you can't hold them accountable. You know, yes, they may be older than you, but you know, you're an adult yourself. So make sure that you're holding them accountable so that they are serving the organization the best possible way that they can. Because if you're not holding them accountable, you know, they're not going to know exactly what you expect of them to do as an advisor, as that role, and as part of the organization. Because as an advisor, they are part of that student organization.
All right, does anybody have any questions for the panel? No? Throw a question up. All right, if you guys want to give a round of applause to the panel. Thank you all for being here. And you guys are free to get seconds or go ahead and take off, but thank you guys for coming.